Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the relativity of time, how time seems to move at a different speed or pace depending on which way you're looking. So I'll just jump straight into it. Saw a photograph of me in one of the main streets of Sydney, when I was probably 10 or 11 years old, somewhere around there. And the street is barely recognisable today. Now it's getting on for more than 40 years later, but it's the difference. You can't recognise the street compared to today, and all the shops have changed. They're all different businesses there. The facades of the businesses have changed, and some of the buildings have even gone, and there are buildings that have replaced them. There's the paving for the sidewalks and the pavements have changed. There's really nothing there. In fact, if you went to that area, that exact same spot where the photograph was taken, you'd swear it was a different place. That's how different it looks. So now there's another photograph of my grandparents took it when I don't know, a toddler, 3 years old, something like that, and you wouldn't notice the place looked exactly the same today as it did then, but it was on a beach where there's no building there. The rocks are millions of years old, and they'll be there in millions of years to come. They haven't changed. So there's nothing changed. It looks exactly the same as it did, in this case, like over 50 years ago. So why does one place look exactly the same, unchanged? Time hasn't moved. It's exactly as it was, that same day 50 years ago, whereas the other place is completely different. Now, one's obviously a downtown city street in a big city, and the shops, it's commerce, it's not a beach, for goodness sakes. Nonetheless, it sort of brought home to me the relativity of time and how time moves. And when you're younger, you see every year is an eternity almost, but as you get older, those years go by a bit more quickly, and so you have different relativities of time there depending on the stage of your life, how many responsibilities you have, how big your mortgage is, and how early you appear at the office and late at night, how little time you get to spend with families, or you get all those sorts of things. So and particularly time moves indifferent as you look forward to when you look back. But it just brought it home to me there, the difference of the relativities in time depending on and two photographs, not that many years apart, but two photographs that show how fast time has moved here, but how it hasn't moved at all over there. It's the same as it was. And I lived for a while in a small sort of rural village as a kid, and I went back there as an adult, and remembered the most of it anyway is exactly the same as was when I was a kid. And in fact, I don't think anything has changed. Maybe there was a few houses extra, but otherwise than that, it was the same. And I went into the the local store, which is pretty small, and straight away there was I remembered having gone in there as a kid, and there was a particular shelf that had something on it, and for some reason I remembered that. So the store hasn't changed, the village hasn't changed, and even the spot on the shelf where the chocolate was is exactly the same place. Time has stood still there. So depending on where you are, time stands still, or time moves very quickly. And I wonder sometimes, are we being bustled along by the fast moving and somehow able to put roots down in the slow moving, or is it one completely boring and the other exciting? But it just brought home to me, looking at those two photos and the current thing of today. See, even on the beach when I was a little kid, it was even a chip mark in one of the paving stones in the thing, and that's still there, exactly the same spot. And if I stood in the same spot as I was when I was 3 years old, you could say, well, it was the same time or the same era, but of course it was different. So I don't know what your thoughts are on this relativity of time, and I don't know how interesting you might even find this video, but it's something that I was sort of a little bit caught up with over the last couple of days thinking about it. So I look forward to seeing your comments below. You've been with Tasteless today, your pushback channel, and thank you for listening.